Welcome to the stream. We are here with Hodpro and Raquel for some bullish PulseChain news. First in the chat, we have Rectangle. Thank you for being here, Rectangle. And Funding Jim. We got DJ Creditus. Thanks everyone for being here. 15 live viewers already, ladies. Just smashing it. Make it with Miriam and Georgia will be turning up later. Ladies, how's it going?
Hey. Awesome. It's been really good.
Going good. Yep. So Johnny Chaos has done some cycle predictions. I don't know if you saw his post.
Which one?
So he made a post. It was a bit cheeky post. He doesn't like to do price predictions, so he's done a PulseChain cycle prediction. Yep. So I know we don't usually talk about this kind of price prediction kind of stuff. But I think it's kind of important just to talk about where we're at in the cycle, give people some perspective. Hodpro, what do you think about where we're at? Are we capitulation zone?
Maybe a little bit lower. We're near
capitulate.
it.
I said capitulate.
Yeah, you did. I think not quite yet. Almost there.
Yeah. Ooh,
almost.
Ooh.
Exciting.
Almost, though.
Is there something coming? What do you think?
It's just my, the fact that I see the whole PulseX, the PulseChain ecosystem as still being worked on. It's still so new that it's kind of bullish if you get in right now or bullish from now. So what it could do is have a little more volatility, before capitulation, perhaps. It also depends on what happens with EHEX and the things surrounding that a little bit, but we're probably close to it. I'm going to be dead honest with when I think stuff's going to really pump is probably before the next election in the U.S. Like if you're talking about a real pump. But I mean, just capitulation, probably pretty close. There are a few heavy hands here. We have to figure out what they're going to do with their bags. So there are a few. It depends. I don't think quite yet. I think we're close, though.
I like your answer. There's like a lot to unpack there. So the US elections, I'm not quite tuned into the date. When is that?
2024. There's November elections. So.
Oh, okay.
There's always a pump before that because,
Yeah. So like with the pumps, right? Like I thought of two things. Like one, I'm hearing a couple of messages like we're going to shake out weekends for 90 days from PulseChain launch. 90 days will shake out weekends. And that would start like the first pump. And then two, the second pump after the BTC halvening, say April 2024, will be like a more steep pump. But then you're saying like the elections are like November 2024, hey?
I think from April to the end of the year 2024 is when I think that we have a real chance at a big pump. Not to say we're not going to have pumps before then. But that's really my measure of when I should probably even move anything. And until then, just DCA the cheap prices. I mean, it's going really well as far as I can see, as far as I can.
It's going great. And we're going to talk about the start and the launch phase as well. Say hi to Miriam here.
Hi, Miriam.
Hey, Miriam. Thanks for coming on, huh?
Hey.
Love that hat. Psychedelic. Oh,
Thanks.
Man, that is glowing.
That's
right.
cool.
I need that version. Is there a light in there? Or how's it hitting the light so nice? Is it the lighting in your room? Or it's the color of
It's probably my lighting in the room.
Is it like fluorescent wool?
Yeah, it's probably like super
yellow?
bright.
Oh, it's beautiful. But is it a different type of wool for that strip? Oh,
this one is more,
awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely brighter. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I do that with paint sometimes. I've got this painting. I don't want to dox my piano and my over there. My piano is just so fresh. None of you looking at my piano. It's my piano.
Fine, class. God.
I haven't slept
Your
much, so
piano.
if it gets a bit random, that's what's happening. I got this fluorescent paint from Officeworks, right? Because I wanted to do a Van Gogh painting. And the thing about this particular vase of flowers is that it has a green fluorescent background, which you can't achieve really with oils, right? So I go to Officeworks, I get this hand paint that's like green fluorescent, and I rub it into the background and I paint on the top, and the effect is on point. Miriam, we're just going to finish up this discussion of the market cycle because I think it's really important. We just started with Hodl just on fire, so we'll just finish that discussion and then we'll get back to you in just one second. Yeah, so I wanted to ask Hodl about timing the top, and this is not a topic of conversation streamers usually stream about, but hey, it's our stream, so we can do whatever we want, right?
Right.
So when it comes to timing the top, I find that to be like an interesting concept, like timing a 3-month period? Does it go for a 6-month period? And then I'm trying to use all these different indicators, right, so I don't miss it. Because obviously we waited 2 years for PulseChain. We're waiting another 2 years for the top, or a year and a half, whenever you think the top is. And so, yeah, we don't want to miss the top. So a lot of the indicators that I use, I'll just name my indicators, and then you ladies, I want you to share your indicators. One would be from Hex launch to the 10,000X. I think it was 623 days, but I have to check my maths. The other one would be like historically, if you map out BTC top, and you could compare that to the Hex top, there was a bit of a gap. And look at the BTC top, the actual date. It happens to remain relatively the same, by the way, for the last few cycles. Another one would be like your maximum price prediction for BTC. Like if you think, like Somi thinks BTC, I think is only going to go to 75 or 85K, and I think that's one of his markers. Whereas I think based on, I did some extrapolation graph work, and I think my top was around 100K BTC. So I'm using all of these kind of indicators. You could take like 555 days from launch as well. Have you guys thought about timing the top and how to DCA out at the top?
Well, as far as DCAing, I've been getting a lot of information about that because I made a post being like, hey, when is a good time to stop DCAing? And people say, never stop DCAing. DCA in, DCA out. And I'm like, okay, tell me more, please. So I'm still learning more about that.
Yeah, let's focus on the out part. We're going to go back to the in part. We started backwards.
Okay.
What do you think about DCAing out, Raquel? Do you have a strategy or a thought?
I'm building a strategy right now, like learning from all the Hexicans give me great suggestions on my post. And I think that, so I was watching this video that somebody compiled a bunch of different Richard Hart things and put it together, and it was very cohesive. And, you know, he was talking about how give it some time to shake out the weekends, and then, you know, you get your hockey stick up, and, you know, around that area is when you can start to DCA out when you're in profit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's good. I think it's good to get a range of opinions to form your own strategy in the cycle. Hodl, when it comes to like the end game, like, are you going to LP out, or can you give people, if they were going to take a portion out at the end of the cycle, what would you suggest? And this is not financial advice. This is
right.
Just
this is not financial advice
and education.
Well, my situation's a little different in that I just plan on holding for as long as possible, no matter how much it goes up. So, I mean, if I'm waiting 10 years to take it out, that's on point to really something I would do. You know what I mean? So I'm in there for a long
strategy.
Yeah, I'm Hodl. I like
that.
to hold for a long time, unless I need to, unless something happens where I need to get it. I mean, that's not a promise, but overall, I would say with the DCAing and how you never stop doing it, it's kind of like, you know how you weight your stakes, or I guess mines, I don't know what they're called now, but you know, you'll either weight it at the front or weight it at the back. I weight in a bear the DCA heavy, and when it's the bull, I weight it lighter. Right? So
nice.
So that way you're not it's not a total waste. Otherwise, why even look at the chart? You can just automatically buy stuff, and you could automate it and not even worry about it. But if you're actually going to man the helm, you can figure out, okay, this month or this specific 3 months, I can, you know, up or down or not do it, right? If you're even running low on funds, don't do it. Don't let that FOMO make you emotional either way, because you're going to have resentment if you're putting all of your money into something that's not going up fast enough. So you cannot put money in and be okay. You know, you can. It's
I like
but
that.
I mean, it's just try to have I would say, this is not financial advice. If you're going to do it, try to do it regularly, but then ascertain how much is comfortable for you, how low you think it is, how high you're going to think it's going to go when you're taking it out. But yeah, DCAing and all the time is pretty good strategy, I think.
Yeah, thanks, Hodbril. Because I mean, Richard Hart with BTC had that strategy, didn't he? Like he held over cycles. I can't remember his exact buy-in price. Was it 5K, or do you remember his buy-in price? And he exited obviously at the top.
No, it was so low.
Yeah.
It was
I think
not 5K. It was
he's-
lower than that when initially.
Yeah.
Well, he kept buying in. So if we're talking about his first buy-in, yeah, it's lower than that. But I don't know how heavy he went in after that. I don't know how much he bought in at first, right? So.
But he held over multiple cycles. So yeah, he held that strategy. Hey, if it's good enough for him.
Yeah. I think the biggest part about all of this is not stressing out, or you can't hold. Anything you do, it seems so dumb and simple, but most of the good advice in crypto is dumb and simple. Just don't do anything. There are people that can't handle it, that have a lot of money in a bear, and they just waste it. They throw it away on scams, stuff they don't, because that same personality type that made them get into it can't relax. It's like, you know, relax, go. Like I say, go on the beach, go to the lake and get a 40. Just calm down and just hold if you can't DCA.
Nice one, Hodbril. Great work. Yeah, I really like what you said there. I think as time goes on and I feel like I'm progressing, like with crypto knowledge, I'm doing less and less. Like I'm actually like some days I don't go to my crypto laptop. I just don't.
The more you know, the less you do. Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just waiting. So apart from like to keep DCAing in, you know, if I earn a bit of extra money, I'm like, woohoo.
Yeah.
DCA in. Yeah, great chat so far. Miriam, what do you think?
I'm still learning about DCA, but I'm hoping to have like a plan really soon. I'm doing this with my husband, so he's also like probably knows a lot more than I do. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping we have like a plan. I mean, right now we're not really like stressing, you know, we're just kind of just going with the flow. As I feel like everyone should do that, but it's really hard for some people.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like people like find it hard to believe that find it hard to believe it in like an exponential kind of looking graph. Like they find it hard to believe that if the prices are so low, how could they possibly go to what they thought the prices would get to? And yeah, I mean, I have been looking at some price predictions. Not that that's what it's all about, but I think if you're going to use timing as part of your strategy, you need to. Like Johnny made some cycle predictions. So one of his predictions, I think, was PLS to a penny. And the other one was PLSX to basically half that. So 0.005. And then Hex on both chains to $1. I was kind of thinking similar-ish sentiment, if I'm honest, with my price predictions. Yeah, I'd be pretty stoked with that price performance. And I think Richard is a genius. And I think the way that I see why he's not streaming, right, apart from, you know, maybe the SEC, if that's not part of his reasoning, would be that the cycle goes for 4 years, right? And say like the next top is going to be a couple of years away. Why would he come in now and like, you know, just give it everything he's got when we're waiting that time for the, you know, for the rest of the legacy markets later on, like in over a year's time. So why do like 10 streams now, have like a nice pump and dump now, and then not get as big a rise later? And I think Access Alive on Crypto 7's channel just recently, he said something really nice. Like overall, people from a if you just looked from an outside perspective on the stream, you'd be like, oh, he's so bearish. But he actually wasn't. He was super realistic. And what he sort of alluded to was the fact that, and if you do exponential graph plotting and predictions based on data, the low to the high swing is actually important to get that upside. Like without like that major gap, like major swing, that's what predicts for the next cycle. You're going to have another great swing. The fact that you've got a great down, like without a great down, there's not a great swing up. And there's probably a better mathematical way of explaining that concept. But without a great down, there's not a great up. So it's actually, for me, I actually feel like it's a bit bullish that there has been a bit of a down. Like if we started at an incredible, amount of X's that we've all made, how then would we have, I think it would be less likely we would then go from that point to like, another extreme higher price point. So I like the way that it,
I agree with it, what you're saying. And I think one of the reasons you can't rush out of the bear, I don't know why people want to do that, is you do have to shake out weaker hands in order for that to happen. I mean, what's the whole point of it, right? You're selling something that people want, and no one's selling for a smaller price, so it really goes up, right? In order for that to happen, you have to have people who are not willing to sell. And in order for that to happen, they have to be shaken out at a price that maybe they don't want. And it's kind of a brutal part of the market, but that's why it's not good to rush it. It isn't. It's very important. Bitcoin, Ethereum had it, and it's usually a straight, right? When people are buying and selling, and there are people with massive bags, and they're just dropping. They're living off of it, basically, is what that is, right? They're living off of their crypto that they've made, and a lot of people end up spending it all, and you have to wait for them to finish spending it all. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I posted yesterday a little picture of a cat. I don't know if you saw it, and I was like, I'm off to work. It was like a Hex Hustler cat. I had like a giant like gold chain and stuff, because I really believe perhaps that, like you said, Hodpril, there are a portion of people that made it really, did really well at the last cycle and thought that was it for their 9 to 5, and then, this moonbag's going to last me forever. Well, I think they may have become surprised by inflation and what their moonbag actually bought them. And I think it's sad, like not for me personally, because, we're all, just independent, where it's a decentralized finance, right? I don't rely on other people. They don't rely on me, how I'm operating. But I think it's a bit probably disappointing for them that they don't have the power of DCA. They don't have these extra larger amounts of money coming in from a regular job where they can take advantage of, now, because now is such a great time to buy. And I'm actually getting like doctors at work ask me about crypto, and there's been an exponential increase in this, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have, I know, like it's been so cool, because in the last year or two, I've been whining. I'm like, there's no doctors into crypto, and like my work days are just like, everybody, talks about, shop or their kids or their other hobbies, which is nice. But like there was one person that I found at work that is heavy into crypto. So we have these like mad conversations. But in my last shift, which was actually extremely like busy, it's always busy, I had 2 different people run over to me. I have to ask you a question. And I was like, yeah, of course, thinking it'd be about sick patient. And they're like, you have to tell me about BTC. You have to tell me about crypto. And I'm like, oh, look, here's Georgia. Hey, Georgia. Thank you for being here. She's just setting up. So we're going to let Georgia set up while I just finish this one point, Georgia. And yeah, they run over to me like with urgency, right? And they're like, you can hear me? Oh, timeout. Yeah, she's just setting up. They run over to me with urgency. Tell me about BTC. Tell me about crypto. And it's like with such urgency that I think there's like a crashing patient that I have to go to. So we start walking together towards the patient, but they actually just pull me aside and they're like, tell me about cryptocurrency. And I'm like, oh, okay. And this is coming from no coiners. Like these are 100% no coiners. So I like to go into, legacy finance and, inflation and how like traditional, investments in real estate and shares and blah, blah, blah. And then move on to like market cycles and what BTC is doing. And this is like a 30 to 1 minute conversation, right? So it's like rapid fire. And then, but I really think that Ethereum is going to do better than Bitcoin. And then PulseChain is a fork of Ethereum. So what I sort of say, and this is like, I'll get you guys' opinion on like the best way to handle this situation. I say to them, if you are going to go out and buy a laptop that's only for crypto and buy a Trezor, then you can come to my house and we can do some like concentrated, like, my husband and I, we will give you everything that you need to know to set yourself up with your wallet and stuff. But unless they go to the like effort of buying their own laptop and their own Trezor, they're not committed, and we can just have corridor conversations. That's how I sort of see it.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it.
Fair enough. Hey, Georgia, how you doing? No, we can't hear you just yet. That's all right. It'll. I'd like you to swear in Spanish, please.
There we go.
Hey, turn it up louder. I want to hear those swear words louder.
La madre que los parió. No, I didn't say anything bad, guys. I will not say anything.
I just think it's cute when you swear in Spanish.
You know something about me? I don't cuss. I try not to do it around the children. I think that's very important. And only when I'm alone, maybe if I'm like something escapes in the mouth, but I try to.
What if you stub your pinky toe? Then you have to like.
No, you hold it in like.
You hold it. Richard had to do that.
I wear stealth boots. That's what I.
Not even like a
hi, ladies. I'm sorry I'm late. Everyone there, I'm so sorry I'm late. But some of us,
that's fine.
Thank you for coming in.
We
are bullish. We got some bullish news today, Georgia. I think we've been talking about driving. I know we've been talking about the market cycle and like trying to recruiting the doctors into crypto. Would you believe they're asking me about crypto?
You know what? I think it's the right time. So many changes are going on right now with everything here, at least in the United States, and that affects everywhere, right? Anything that happens here will affect everywhere else. So I think people is getting to be open to new ideas, to new ways of doing things, especially making money. So I think that is something positive, even though we have a lot of like always, every negative comes in the positive, right? It goes.
Yeah. So what do you think, guys? Like, I'm working with my pitch, right? Like, so I need to get suggestions, maybe from the chat as well, like the best onboarding videos for no coiners. Like, we're talking zero to like PulseChain here, like in a safe way, because my concern is they get scammed, they press the wrong button, and then they tell all of their friends, and then so that's why I've been a little bit cautious in the way that I recruit, I would say, in my own department, because obviously I'm there as a professional. We can't have people getting scammed in my workplace because my reputation will be turned to SHA. So it has to be approached in a very secure way. So I will post the best videos that I'm going to go through, because I know that Hexo did an onboarding video. I know that Cryptographics did one, but now since then we've had the on and off ramps as well that have come to play. So I think who was it? Crypto Coffee did the 15 ways to get PulseChain video as well.
That's a good one.
But yeah, what have you guys found like your best approach to onboards in terms of like getting them in safely from a no coiner to like PulseChain or Hex or?
Well, I'm gonna start. I think that I will use my own experience. I had to go through the whole process, and I think that we have incredible influencers within our community who know very well, because they've been through that as well. I save all my favorite videos for my own library, and then I share with people. I let them start with what is crypto, what is a wallet, what is security, little things like that. Just think about if you go back in time and how did you start it, right? And we have to make sure that there's also understanding for different levels of understanding. Sometimes people that I talk to, they're a little bit familiar. I'm sure doctors are smart and they're familiar with investigating and doing their own research, but some people it's not. They have the resources. They have, for example, the traditional 401ks. They have some money put away in stocks, bonds. I know people bonds. We have grandparents who want to leave something for their grandchildren. So I think the understanding of what is crypto, that's what I will begin with new onboarding.
Mhm.
What do you girls think? That was good, Georgia.
Well, a lot of times, people use it as an excuse to like talk to me more. You know, they want to talk to me longer. They say, "Oh, you know, teach me about crypto." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I mean, I kind of like your idea, Claus, about like making sure they have a laptop and a Trezor to let me know that they really actually want to learn. Because I recently got my own setup going, and you know, like Georgia said, I had to go through the process myself to really even be able to understand it enough to even teach somebody. So, you know, when I very first started getting into crypto, I was telling my friends about it and, you know, trying to get my friends to do it with me so that I wasn't doing, you know, going through it alone. And watching a lot of YouTube videos and reading a lot of stuff on Twitter and like looking up terminology like one by one. I'm like reading an explanation. I'm like, I don't know what that word is. So I go and I look it up individually. So I think it's just like they have to go through the process to really understand it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the educational aspect is actually quite intense, and there needs to be quite a deep level of commitment. And I think I really like this comment here. Where is it? So Rectangle said having a general understanding of crypto is a first priority before throwing a dollar in this space. I really believe that. The people don't really talk about the emotions of the cycle, like holding through a cycle for a lot of people who haven't held through multiple cycles before. It's quite a challenge. Like learning not to be always checking and always, you know, at your crypto laptop is actually quite difficult, and it's a sort of learnt over time, isn't it? It's like an experience thing.
I have
Harper, what do you?
something to say about it too. I like your idea of if you don't have a laptop or a Trezor, or at least just a Trezor, then you're not willing to put in the money and time to do this.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you just want something kind of quick. Because really, if you think about it, if people really wanted to get into crypto, they could do it right now. There are YouTubes on there to open up the MetaMask, but they want you to help them. And the problem with that is they're going to want to be dependent on you, and you need to teach them to not do that. And you're not going to spend your Ethereum to good accounting their stakes either, right? Because they need to be responsible. So I would say, if I were to do it, as soon as someone comes to your house with a Trezor or whatever, and you explain the whole seed phrase thing, tell them to only get things that are Richard Hart, right?
Mhm.
Go make him a maxi, right? Go on his Twitter. All of the links that he puts there, you can click. Don't click
How do you
anything
do
else.
that again?
But if they want to,
That sounds like me talking to my kids. You see, we're having audio problems today, guys. Sorry.
It's not Miriam's fault
No
because I
problem.
muted her. Like her husband, her partner's telling her to mute, right? I muted her, and then she's unmuted, so it wasn't her fault. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, no problem. I'd say if they're in Pulse or PulseX or whatever Hex, and they are still into it and they seem responsible, you can open that up a little more to be like, okay, here's Hedron, right? Go follow Alex. Here's another. If you want to have a little more extra tools, maybe some of the loan protocols, Liquid Loans, Power City, you could start putting them up. If they keep being a crypto bro and they're good at it, then you could be like, all right, if you actually want to get into stuff that's a little more volatile, like meme coins on PulseChain or otherwise, then make sure there's a white paper, make sure you have the correct contract address, like Pulse Kittens has a white paper, Helgo has a white paper, right? I mean, those are meme coins. So I would say just increase your resolution of telling them what to do based on what security you think they could handle. If they ever get into anything that isn't like Hedron and Hex, have them consult the Pulse Police, right?
Yeah,
Pulse Police
that's
goes
really
in,
good.
and I trust them quite a bit to go in and adequately vet projects. They have developers go in and go through the code and look at red flags, look at what is safe, what isn't. So Pulse Police, but everything else just make sure that they can function as a maxi, right? First.
Yeah, I think that's a really good entry. And like you were saying, Georgia, like maybe if they start with some of Richard Hart's videos to get the background information, I think the background information is really important to build the right mindset. Have the right information about crypto in general first.
Not only that, I think one of the most important things right now at this point is to show people that they need to remain calm, because this is not something that we haven't done before. The market hasn't. The reason why I am calm is because I look up to people in the system, like Hexicans and all their people in crypto that are repeating over and over and over. This is not the first bear market, is it? This is like the fourth, around fourth. So that's the most important thing. Show them that yes, this happens. It happens every 4 years. It might vary a little bit, but everything is going to be okay. I think that's the most important thing. Show them that things are going to be okay. And this is the time to learn, to acquire at least a little bit, so they can in the future not say, oh my God, I missed this incredible opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to go through some of these comments because there's been some killer comments that are like pretty funny as well. So I might start from the bottom up and just say hi to a few people as well. Here we go. Let's see what you got, Moondog. So literally the gratitude I take to recognize every time I'm onboarding someone, I know they're gonna need to learn a bit at cheaper than $40 to transaction. So that's a good point. So PulseChain to transact is like 400 times cheaper than Ethereum. So when people say, why PulseChain, like what's the point of forking it? The idea, is it's a better Ethereum to escape Ethereum gas fees. But it was designed to also help Hex. Because to end stakes on Ethereum was becoming too costly for a lot of Hexicans. Yes, go ahead, Georgia. Thanks.
I'm gonna raise my hand and talk about something very important that people is not talking about. We have a product that has shown that it's good quality, security is impeccable, and when it comes, when you buy the product, you want to make sure that what it comes from, it has a lot of a good reputation, right? That's what I found at least with Hex. Hex is my little horse, like my unicorn, like I call it. So I think that's very important too. When we show them what we do, show them something that we believe and we have proof that it works and it has the security factor, which is so important for anything to do with crypto, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go into some bullish sort of points for PulseChain. So this came about because Tangent, I'm going to call him out, on Twitter said that he was going to hold a bullish PulseChain space if he could get 5 Anons to raise their hand to volunteer to talk in the space. So I raised my hand. I said, yeah, I'll be there, like straight away. And then I did some mad homework. Like I spent the next 5 minutes doing like the maddest homework you can imagine, right? Thinking there's going to be like a space and I'm going to have to speak in the space. And then there's no space. So I'm calling you out, Tangent. Where's your bullish space? You said you'd do it. Hasn't happened. But I got the bullish news anyway. I did a post. The post got pretty good traction. I just want to go through some of the points that I was going to make, and I want you guys to comment on it, all right? So my number, you can comment on my point. You can say, oh, Claz, that was like a shit point. Like, you really should do better. Or you can say that's bullish. Like, I'll take that on board, okay? So there's options here. Right? You don't have to. All right. Point number 1. $660 million was sacrificed for PLS. $1.1 billion was sacrificed for PLSX, not including the OA. So go where the smart money is. And I did get some trolls on this comment, so I hope you ladies are ready to, to be trolls as well, or agree with the comment. What do you think about the amount that's sacrificed? Like if you're going to a conference, right? And I think Walrus did this, or someone at a conference did it. Maybe Funding Jim did it. And one of their points when they were telling other people at the conference, oh, you're into PulseChain, like, so what? Like, it's almost like a sort off, right? One of the points they used as their sort off was like, well, for PulseChain, all of this money has been sacrificed. So, yeah, why don't you come where the money is, kind of thing. What do you think about my point?
If I could understand. I'm sorry.
It's just the fact that so much money was sacrificed for PulseChain. Like all of these people are sacrificing, they sacrificed all of this money for freedom of speech and movement, believing in the product as well. But it's a sacrifice phase. There's zero expectations. That's the
zero expectations. That's what I think. People, where are they complaining about? It was sacrifice.
But there's money. There's a huge amount of liquidity in PulseChain.
Correct.
There is a massive amount of money in PulseChain.
We are just starting, guys. It's I don't know how many times do I have to listen to the experts and to the people who have been here before. It's a matter. It's I don't know. It's not the timing they said, but it's the right time, right? So we're just waiting. I'm sure they're waiting for something. They're waiting for the right time. We don't have the highest of stakes out yet. We haven't even promoted what PulseChain is all about. Neither we haven't even promoted Hex. Hex still with the same resistance as when they first came out. I think for Richard Hart and for everyone involved in these projects, all of them, we just have to wait because right now people is all over the place. All the energy, instead of being promoting one thing, is promoting 20 million things. And I'm not saying it's bad. I think you should. If you believe in something, you should definitely promote it and push it forward. But it's just the beginning. The things has not even started, and I even understand that.
Yeah, so, I think there might be some famous people in PulseChain, and I think those people, for their own anonymity, they can't be named, right? But there actually are, apart from people that are just like super wealthy, there are actually famous people in PulseChain. There was a post from Richard's brother, your brother, Georgia, that said, rumor mill, this is a lady stream, so I can bring this
brother-in-law.
He said that Charlie Sheen is rumored to hold a very large bag of Hex. That's what he said.
All these people, all the celebrities, obviously they're ahead of the game. They have knowledge of big places to invest. And come on, didn't Paris Hilton was investing in NFTs, and we have also in the Latin market a lot of the artists who are into crypto NFTs. Sometimes NFT is more because it has to do more with the arts. And they're involved in that, and crypto is something that you have to dig more in than the actual art. So yeah,
let's have some experience with crypto. Like Kim Kardashian, she's got crypto experience. And she had these, I don't know why it came up on my feed recently, Kim Kardashian, because I don't really follow celebrities, right? But she had this Vogue photo shoot. Far out, she looks so hot. But besides that, I was like, she would be like a great onboard. Whoever can onboard Kim Kardashian, that would be fantastic on board. So there are well-known people that are actually in PulseChain. They just don't advertise it. Even like popular influencers, popular crypto influencers, but they're not vocal about it, and they should be more vocal. Like Ivan started very vocal, and then because the initial price performance wasn't to his satisfaction, or Richard didn't stream or whatever it was, he became much less vocal about PulseChain. It's all Bitcoin. So I've been trolling him in his chat sometimes, his live streams, just a little bit, just gentle troll. Okay, so that was my first point about how much money is in the system. So I think you guys thought that point was average. I give myself a 4 or 5 out of 10. Okay, we'll go to the next one.
Let me respond to that real quick, though. I'll respond to that really quickly. So it's kind of, the economic energy that's going into it is indicative of what kind of people that are going to be holding on to this and how they have faith in it, right? So I don't even know if any of you guys, this is dangerous territory and not financial advice. Watch wallets.
No.
If you do any chain analysis, it depends on. I have this theory that really big whales, there's a few of them that aren't like this, but have actual multiple people's money in the system. So I would expect them to dump, just in general, not even Hexaco, I would expect them to dump a portion of their profits for the people that invested with them. And this has to do with, people that are running, I don't know, pools to get the higher multiplier. That's a big one. People that companies that are kind of whales or sharks that have other people's money, they have to pay it out. But in general, it depends on who is putting in, and then it depends on who's dumping. So if whales dump a portion, that kind of makes sense. But if in general they're holding on, and the ones that hold on seem like they want to do it long term, that's pretty bullish. If a lot of the sharks, the dolphins are holding, that's bullish. In general, yeah.
That's a really good point about the pooling, because you would have to spread people's sentiment or their own perception of risk across the way that you act in that pool. So if you've got one person in that pool that is trolling the shit out of you and going like, you better sell higher, they might make like a tiny little profit. They might see the price go up to the point where they've made a tiny profit and just get on to the back of that whole pool and just be whining like a little person, trying to get them to dump the price so they can take that bit of profit. Whereas a lot of people in the pool are kind of thinking, oh, we were just going to hold. And most people don't want to do that. Like the loudest voice wins, and so acting like a pool, like just in terms of that, like group mentality may then, I think that would be very bearish for that pool. That pool would be selling down. It would be a down forever pool because of the very loud few number of players that would be, we have to take profit because I'm now in profit, because they've probably put in the biggest portion of money, right? And they only need to make a little bit of profit to make it worth for them because they've put in so much money, dragging the rest of their pool down. I think pools in general are quite bearish, is the way I see it. Okay, we're going to move on to point 2. So Miriam, you're going to critique me on this point. So these are the bullish points for PulseChain, right? So the founder, Richard Hart, did a previous 10,000x with Hex. So if the founder's done a previous 10,000x, he's a crypto genius. So why wouldn't you then follow him over to PulseChain? How do you rate my bullish point, Miriam?
I don't know, actually. Coming off guard here.
That's good. I don't mind.
I think Richard. I'm gonna take this. We're gonna talk about Richard. I'm the expert. I'm the one of the experts on Richard Hart Jeopardy, memorabilia, things like that. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. I think in one of the streams he said that it only takes $8 million to do a 10x. So I think it could be done again. Maybe now is the time. I don't know if X will do it again. Maybe not at 10,000x, maybe only 1,000x. I'm not sure, but it's probably likely to happen with PHEX. So, and I want to talk about the point that you had earlier. Thank you, the whales. You know what? Aren't we complaining? Oh, the whales are taking everything. And well, I'd rather a whale dumping on me right now when there's only pennies that I could acquire more as a little thing.
Yeah.
The whales, thank you. I'd rather do that. Sure, it's part of the business. It is a business, guys. Someone who has so much money invested in something, I will do it. Don't you think that they will get profit somehow? They will. It's a business. They're not our friends. They're businessmen. I
Good point.
happy that this little, not even shrimp, could get the leftovers from the whales. Thank you. So I'd rather to be now than when it's like what, $1, $2. So
good point, Georgia. What do you think Hex could go to, ladies? Like, we don't usually do price predictions, but we want to throw some numbers out there.
I don't think it's unreasonable for it to think that it could do better in the long run than Hex, because when Hex did a 10,000x, people talk about that for a very long time, and now there's all of this other stuff to add on to it. So I don't think it's unreasonable to think that it could do even better.
So you're thinking more than a 10,000x for PulseChain?
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
because you think about Ethereum did what was it, like a 13 or 14,000x? I think, and then I think
14,000,
PulseChain, it's
yeah.
a better product. A better product will do a better job, right? You'd think.
I think
people
we've
know
been
what's good for
like,
them.
yeah, I mean, we've been gifted with like a long time for people to get in, which I think is a gift for the broader crypto community, and also for no coiners. And I'm actually like, if I had like a no coiner work friend, for example, that got in now, it's like that would be such a gift for them if they took it on board. I feel. So the fact that the documentary hasn't yet come out and we're at a price point where we've got time to DCA in and it's remained at a steady price point is actually a super gift,
Yeah.
which I'm grateful for.
I think with like the PulseChain tour and with more people starting to stream and more people, doing more stuff, more of the community being active, promoting it outside, it can only do even better.
Yeah, PulseChain tour is going gangbusters. Hodpro, what do you think of my point, like with the 10,000x point? Like Richard done a previous 10,000x.
Well, I always say, watch the price of the dollar as well. What's the dollar going to be worth in the amount of time that you expect that 10,000x? Is a Big Mac going to be $100? That's a little doomer of a situation, but maybe even if it's not to that extent, I think Hex will do a 2x on inflation alone of the dollar. But beyond that, I was thinking about the E-Hex versus P-Hex thing, and rather than what I think it'll get to, I think it'll eventually get to a dollar probably on both chains, maybe $10 in the far future, I guess. But everyone's seems to be worried about the price of E-Hex, how it's going to be lower than P-Hex, and it depends on if you're staked. It depends on the T-share scenario, right? I think that the way that it'll reach a sort of parity in your wallet could be that P-Hex could be worth more eventually, but E-Hex will have higher payouts in the pool if you're staked. So either way, you'll be making equal passive income on it, is my guess, or at least something I've thought about before. But
I was thinking,
I think it'll 1,000x. Yeah. No, go ahead.
Oh, nice. I was thinking about the E-Hex, P-Hex debate and a point that somebody made up, I think it was Richard or Johnny, someone. The liquidity on Ethereum for Hex is very low, so it takes a lower amount of economic energy to make that go higher. And as I was saying before, actually like a lower low, maybe more bullish in the end game for a higher high in terms of your price appreciation for what you put in. So for me, I'm actually super bullish on eHex. Like on my Twitter handle, it's like Hex PLS for the win. And I always believe the whole system was designed for Hex, right? So Hex is going to be the winner, like number one. That's why I've got it first. So is it going to be eHex, which has been around for 2 years and which has all brought us together in the first place, or is it going to be the new shiny object, PHEX? Well, my gut tells me there's some very large stakes over on Ethereum with some very strong hands that are holding them. Are they really going to let the price performance of these very large stakes turn to rubbish? No, they're not. So for me, actually, like Hex over PulseChain and eHex over PHEX is
I have a question. I have a question. Maybe that's an idea that just came up. Why to divide Hex? Why to divide Hex? Why don't we think about as Hex, one Hex, in two different places? One
I
with
suppose because
fee,
you have to
one
buy
higher.
one or the other,
So,
But yeah, I mean, you spread
still,
your risk, right? Yeah, like have
people,
both.
it's like live your eHex. I have everything stake, and it's something fantastic for my kids' future because I won't mess up with that. So now, if people is creating FOMO, FUD, whatever you want to call it, I'm not touching it. I can't touch it. I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it there forever. Well, for at least 15 minutes. So I think there is a possibility for both of them. Both are incredible products. Both are Richard Hart's babies. Do you think, let's think hypothetically, do you think Richard Hart will let X die or go down when that is his baby? That is the product that he is has been defending for years, with fighting with everyone, confronting everybody. He is the shining armor that is defending Hex. He will not let that down or die. I don't care what everybody says. He is not going to do it. I can bet one of my stakes on it.
I,
So
I,
Moondog
I
is,
agree with what you say, Georgia. And also, if you think about it, the stuff that he's, I think there's an order at which we should try to, I don't know, give attention to these things. Right now it's PulseChain, right? Really right now it's PulseX, because in order to get into PulseChain, you need to be able to use PulseX. So
Yeah.
ultimately, I think his main goal is Hex. One of the reason being everything else is a forked product. Hex is still just his.
And there's no competition for Hex. Period. All of the other
Psychologically.
products that PulseChain, PulseX, all the stuff, they all have competition. There's no competition for Hex yet.
I think
There's no.
Moondog is
I don't
on
know how
fire
it'll be.
here.
And
Um,
and you know what? And another thing, and I see I'm getting old. I lost that thought. You know what? Giving up on Hex would be letting the other guys prove what they're all saying bad about him. And I think he will spend his entire fortune or whatever he has or doesn't have to make this happen.
I love that. Moondog is he's brought up a good point. It's like they've got different functionality. Like Hex is a better designed store of value than BTC. Like agreed. And then PLS is a faster, better designed smart contract platform than Ethereum. And PLSX is a more intentionally designed DEX than Uni for reasonable comparisons. Fantastic comment. Like they have different utility, right? It depends on like just how you're using them as well. That was a really good comment. Yeah, nice one. All right. I really like that point. Ethereum, Miriam, do you want to buy into the EHEX, PHEX debate here? Which side are you on? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't really have like a side to choose from. I mean, I think like what you guys have been saying, like they have potential in the future in the long run. So I'm kind of like, just because I don't know, I feel like just putting a little bit of an end to everything, just kind of see how everything works out, and like I'm not picky, and I'm just trying to see.
I love your background. You've got the pulse sign there. You've got the PLSX. Do you mind to just move your head for a second just so I can see the hex? Hey, I like that. Are you selling the boards?
Yeah, I am. I'm selling like smaller versions of those, just because those are they're huge.
Do you want to put in the chat just your link to your website there, and then we can go through that in a minute. Okay, so here's the next point, my next bullish point for Tangent's Twitter space, which hasn't happened yet.
Tangent.
Shame on you, man.
I did my homework. I had to cram this homework in. It took me like 7 minutes. Actually, maybe a little bit longer.
7? You take a whole minute.
7 minutes, my time tangent. And then I had to go and do extra homework on the homework to understand some of the broader concepts.
Took me 7.3524 seconds.
Next point. Okay, so far my points, I don't feel like they're quite hitting, but we'll proceed. Okay, here's a point. So the SEC is unlikely to name PLS ever as a security because the central bank wants to use Ethereum to launch its CBDCs. Also, the SEC has destroyed our competition this cycle by naming our competition as suspected securities. What do you guys think? Controversy.
It's both bullish and bearish because overall, we do think of these other tokens as competition, and they are. But what it's causing is a lot of people to go around saying that crypto isn't worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This sort of like, Ripple security. I don't know what else was Solana or something. If you're already in the space, if you're already in the telegrams, people are hardcore crypto people, or it's hard to tell that people are being turned off from crypto because they're like, that's what you get Cardano or whatever. I don't think Cardano's one, but you know what I mean? Like, but overall with normals, they're like, oh, I don't know. A lot of this stuff's security. They don't get into it. But what's bullish about it for us is that we are not listed anywhere really. And these tokens were getting wrecked by being unlisted from Robinhood on down. And we're not susceptible, even though it's going to keep the price down for longer than it is if this wasn't the case, but it's going to keep us safer. The fact that we don't need to be listed. And that's why I think it's important. And, I'm a long-term holder that I'm in these Richard Hart products is I'm not expecting it to bull as quickly as these other tokens because something decided to list it correctly. I'm willing to wait the years it takes for people to actually have to go to his platform to do it. And because the hackability of all these centralized exchanges, even Venmo, you can't even send your Bitcoin or Ethereum out to a different wallet. It sucks. Coinbase, and I actually like Coinbase, but just you don't need all of these things for our tokens. And as they go down, all of these tokens are kind of going off the radar compared to this entire ecosystem where we have a centralized exchange. We have our Ethereum that's costs less gas. We have our long-term Bitcoin, which is Hex. It's kind of a certificate of deposit. And as soon as eyes get there and the other castles fall, who's going to be left standing? Us, but it's going to be bearish for a long time because when crypto is attacked, it attacks all crypto, and that includes us. So strategically, it's bullish for us, but it's bearish in the interim of just no one wants to be in crypto right now. They will eventually. But
I think that's an extremely good point, Hodprol. And I'm loving your points today. Absolutely on fire.
Your points are on fire too, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. I try my best, and Tangent
You
made me do my homework for the 7 minutes plus extra. So
7 minutes.
Plus the background work on the. Yeah, I had to pump it out quick because I thought the space was coming, but it wasn't there.
I'm watching this video after so I can take notes. I'm embarrassed to be taking notes.
I'm taking notes.
No,
I think I got this one.
Ladies,
this is
beautiful, like from class.
Okay, every time A3 page here, man. Like, look at that shit. Yeah. So, what I was going to.
We're taking the crypto bar. The crypto exam for crypto expert.
I wish.
No. If they paid me as much as my other job paid me, I would say yes to that, but they don't, so I'm going to say no. Advocate. Actually, no. It would be paying me a lot more. Wait, I take it all back. I'm going to rethink my point. Anyway, scrap that. I haven't said much. So I actually think I really like. I really like what you said, Hodbril. I think at the same time, bearish and bullish. I think it will extend the bottom for us, which I think overall is going to be better for our slingshot, which I spoke about before, especially with the timing of the highest of stakes. And then later, when Richard streams, hopefully, April next year, thanks, Richard, to go harder on that last, ascent there. So I think it will keep the bear going longer with the FUD. But then, normies, no coiners, are catching on to crypto in a major way. Like even people like my colleagues that are earning great money are still living paycheck to paycheck. And you want to know why? Because their massive house that they overreached for, so they can live with the Joneses, the interest rate hikes, has been 11 interest rate hikes in the last 12 months. So their mortgage, the amount they're paying per fortnight or month for their mortgage is up. And so they can see themselves working harder and harder and harder for just to make those repayments that they overstretched for, if that kind of makes sense. They can see the writing on the wall with real estate. And everyone can see the writing on the wall every financial year with your stocks or how your super's gone, right? Or you guys would call it your 401k or whatever the hell you call it.
401k. Yep.
401k. So every time you check your
Yeah.
401k at the end of the tax year, you may have noticed your stocks are underperforming because that number is not really going up as what you would expect, or it's even going down, right? So the writing's on the wall. Normies are catching on. No matter what sort of messages are spread throughout mainstream media, they can tell on their day-to-day living. They go to the shop, they get 10 items, and it costs them like $200 and or $100, $200, and they're like, what the hell? I just got like 10 things. It was just like a mini shop. And their wages aren't sustaining the inflation. Their wages, the inflation is totally, so extreme compared to what the increase in their wages are. So the writing's on the wall. Normies are catching on. So yeah, I think the way that the SEC has handled things with the bear market, I think will go on for a little bit longer. But the slingshot is going to be way harder because normies can tell crypto is the way. They can tell like real estate's not doing it for them.
Class. So on that point, something happened, I think it was today or yesterday, with the Supreme Court and student loans. So Joe Biden kind of ran on the platform. One of the reasons it was canceling student loan debt to the upwards of $400 billion to be completely canceled, and the Supreme Court found it unconstitutional. And so these people are young people, usually with these massive student loans, have not really been paying regularly since COVID because there've just been things putting off. What's going to happen? Are they going to start having to pay thousands of dollars a month when they haven't been for years? Or are they going to get into crypto so their wages don't get garnished?
Exactly. And
And
we found
so
the same thing.
young
What they need
people-
to do is they need to start paying attention to, who they're giving the power to.
The
That is
difference between,
Because they promise a lot of people a lot of things, and then when they get to to the power, they
the Supreme Court is like, I'm not going to put up with your nonsense that you made up to give votes. Like that's not mathematically possible, and to still have a decent, a working economy. But the difference between that and people working with a lot of real estate and a lot of asset things is it's a younger crowd, and a younger crowd is actually more willing to get into something edgy like crypto, get a MetaMask, be into NFTs and whatnot. So I think that the more government overreach that'll happen, the US has a lot of people, it has a lot of power. So does Australia. There's a lot of Australian crypto people. It's winter where you're at, right? But,
we follow the US. We follow the US dollar.
Yeah. But when young people are going to have their wages garnished, we're talking, doctors and lawyers, people who did everything right, that weren't able to pay these student loans, and they accrue massive interest. They really do. I used to have them, and I don't anymore, but most people do. They're going to find a way out, and the only way out is going to be something that they're going to have control over. And really, ultimately, what I see is the only thing that's going to be unlisted that they're going to have control over is really Richard Hart's ecosystem. We're going to do it, park it in a centralized exchange, and then they get sequestered, whatever, that these exchanges to give up the money because they hold your keys. You're going to have to go to PulseChain.
I agree, and I can see it happening. Like, in my last shift, like I was saying, I had 2 people run up to me. I thought it was a medical emergency. I started walking towards the patient.
It is an emergency. Yeah. It's just not a medical one.
It was actually a financial emergency. It was rapid fire, like finance talk in the corridor about crypto. People see the writing on the wall. They know crypto.
When their money's taken, they'll go.
Yeah, they want to do it in a secure way, and they want to get into something that they feel like is secure. And I think PulseChain is that place where they're going to end up going, and they're going to learn about Richard Hart, and they're going to get into PulseChain. They might start with Ethereum, because let's face it, most people want to start with BTC, and I at least do them the favor of moving them onto Ethereum. And then the next step from Ethereum is to tell them, if they can hold Ethereum, about the copy of PulseChain and how it's better, it's cheaper, it's faster, it's completely decentralized. It's much more user friendly. We have a great community, and our price performance above anything else is going to be better. BTC price performance, you can map out historically. The gains through each cycle are diminishing, and that's just a mathematical fact. So I find it extremely amusing that all of these very influential crypto streamers are BTC, BTC, BTC. And I do troll them in the chat about their diminishing price performance. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be a genius to do some maths, right? And say, this cycle you made this much. This cycle, there's an exponential decline here, guys. Why the hell are you talking about BTC all the time? It confuses me. It honestly confuses me. So yeah, at least do the favor of moving them from BTC to Ethereum. And then my goal, of course, is Ethereum to PulseChain. And I'm glad we've got this opportunity while the prices are low now, where we can have time to do this. I think it's important.
That's a
Okay, we're
perfect
going
way
to
do
move
it.
to. I think so. And also the way that Richard is doing it lately to bring the BTC people over is their free copy of Wrapped BTC is worth. Yesterday it was worth $250. I didn't check this morning. But people that hold a large amount of BTC coins have those for free. There's over $6 million of liquidity in the farm. And so there's free money on PulseChain for BTC holders. So pulsechain.com, BTC holders need to get themselves onto PulseChain and claim their free airdrop. You have free money. And that is the gift that Richard is giving to you. And he gave BTC holders a gift before in the form of free hex that did a 10,000x. So, maybe they should actually consider the fact that if he's tweeting about their free airdrop, there might be something in it for them. All right, next point. How do we go with that point? A bit of controversy there. Not too bad.
Good.
Not too bad point. Okay, we've already gone through this one. The historically, blah, 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 blah. I was just going to go through how I feel like we've capitulated. So historically, the pause in interest rates by the Fed led to a massive pump in BTC and alts, marking the end of the bear. So that was me kind of saying I think we're at capitulation phase for the reason of the pause of interest rates. It was a hawkish pause, which means that they may then decide to increase interest rates still. There's still that chance. But when interest rates are definitely paused and we feel confident of that, I think that will mark definite capitulation phase. And then I spoke about my timing before, how I felt 90 days from launch to shake out weak hands. And then around the time of BTC halving, maybe April next year would be the start of a more steep climb into the cycle for going into the start of 2025. So, yeah, I think we kind of went through that in terms of timing of the cycle. Do you guys want to say any other points about timing in the cycle?
Well, I think, again, the video that I watched earlier with Richard Hart had him talking about the bear market being the perfect time to launch a product, because he did say, I think he said a few weeks I think he said, I'm probably wrong, but I think he said 52 weeks to shake out weekends.
Yeah.
And you get that nice hockey stick, probably aligning with what you said with the Bitcoin halving and things like that. It's probably going to be around that time in 2024, mid 2024, I think.
Nice. Okay, so the last bullish point before we move on to just general Twitter news and fun stuff, we got some real fun stuff actually, would be blockonomics. So we've mentioned this before. So PulseChain is faster than Ethereum, 17% faster. So there's 10-second blocks instead of 12-second blocks. It's cheaper to transact, so it's 400 times cheaper than Ethereum to transact. 25% of the block rewards are burnt. And then we alluded to this before. There's a lot of liquidity inside PulseChain. So there's $280 million in liquidity on PulseX. This is from data, I think, from June. And there's $36 million has been bridged over. And there's currently 8.6 million in liquidity pools. So yeah, there's money there. And as we were saying before, BTC holders, you got your free airdrop. There's $6 million liquidity in that pool, so you can claim your free airdrop. As of yesterday, it was $250 per wrapped BTC copy. And also, PulseChain, it's not centralized. So there's no centralized staking, and everyone runs their own validators. 100% run by the public, and you earn 23.8% APR. So in the most decentralized blockchain, basically.
Yeah.
So, ladies, we're going to wrap up our bullish sentiment there on PulseChain. Anything else you want to say about PulseChain?
I love PulseChain. I was able to practice for a while, for 2 years, in V1, V2, V3, V4. So for me, I know there's other projects coming up, but I feel so comfortable navigating something that I already know. It's like waters that I've tested before, waters that I feel comfortable, waters that I make mistakes and I learn how to correct them. So I think PulseChain is amazing, and not only because it's amazing to operate, but it's amazing because we have incredible products. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it. And just wait, the highest, trust me, guys, the highest stakes. If any company that puts a product on, let's say, Netflix, for example. Hopefully it's Netflix. I don't know. It could be something else on
Do you know
Netflix.
something we don't know, Georgia?
Well, no, I don't. Let me tell you what I've been
Sound effect.
doing. I'm going to share with you what I've been doing. I've been reaching out to Variety, which is the magazine that publishes the new upcoming events or movies and productions. I've been reaching out to the offices of Netflix, Apple TV, everywhere. I've been like calling everyone. No one has any information. The only thing that I've heard that I posted the other day is that it's very, very close. And RG3 says something the other day in one of the streams. He said that it was only the last Pulse Chain tour stop was going to be a place where they were going to see another of the last trailer of the highest of stakes. And when he said the last tr- time that we're going to be able to see a sneak peek preview of the highest of stakes, that tells me that it's coming soon. It has to come soon. It has to be. I don't know what the details are. I don't know why we're not out yet, but I imagine it has to do with choosing the right place and also making sure that it comes on the right time so we can participate in a lot of the award ceremonies. Cannes, we have the Utah Film Festival. We have a lot of festivals that it needs to be in a specific time that the movie comes out in order to be able to participate. So I
What is
think
that timing, Georgia? Like, what is the timing that
depends.
would
For
be optimal?
example, I don't know exactly when by when, but for example, for the Oscars to participate as one of the movies, they have to come out by a certain time. I don't know if it's February or March. I'm not sure. I'm not into film industry, but I know that it has to be by a certain time in order to be able to qualify to participate. So
Oh, that's
we
interesting.
should get the producers back here, maybe just to tell us, or someone in film industry, if anyone is listening and they know a little bit more about that area, maybe they can share with us what is the process.
Yeah. If anyone
I
in the
think
chat
that's-
is got any expertise there, I will drop the link in the chat and you can cameo. So I am so excited about the highest of stakes, and I think I kind of blocked it out of my mind so that I didn't have to be on edge all the time. Like, when is it going to come out? But I can't wait to watch it with my crypto buddies, and I've already chosen like a car park. Just like the top of my work has this like 3-story car park, right? And the top level after 9 p.m. on a weekday is like empty. There might be like 1 or 2 rando cars. Anyway, I don't think that's probably. It's less my dream is to like set up this like massive like stage and like event on the top of this car park, which would be just like so epic.
You have a
I'm
projection.
going to drop a link in the chat for a cameo. Anyone is free to cameo. It's going to be a random cameo, and we've got like a few like cool things happening. Like, we actually have a free giveaway, guys. Miriam, take it away. Tell the people listening about a free giveaway that we have.
Yeah. So Gary, which is Funding Jim, he contacted me a few months ago to start a giveaway to kind of get my stuff out there and just get all the hexagons on board and stuff. So I made a couple of things that would be like a fun little giveaway, and I'm thinking in Georgia's stream, which she said she's going to stream, and in class stream, we're gonna we're gonna do a couple of name drawings there. So I figured I could probably show you a couple of things that I'll be giving away just to kind of have an idea as to what's gonna be there. I do have like a box that.
Oh, I love it.
there.
So creative.
I love
Oh my
crochet
God.
things.
I never thought
So
about that
obviously,
until I want it.
I'm just gonna go grab my hat. Keep talking.
all right. So obviously, it's gonna be a couple of hats, which 555.
Oh.
How cute.
And then, of course, this.
Ooh.
I like that. I like black. I like to wear black.
And then I do have, of course, for Pulse X and PulseChain.
Yes.
How long does it take you to make one of those, Miriam?
For one of these hats, it only takes me about like 2 hours or so if I'm not interrupted.
Wow.
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 Oh, look at Claus. Look at
Look
you.
at
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yes.
It looks
Yeah,
so good.
everything I see that you post is so
Look at
cute.
this, like,
And it's reversible. Yes.
That is amazing. That is the hex
I
colors.
love
and
it.
the colors. That's amazing.
Thanks. And then, of course, I have like a little wine bottle holder.
That's cute. What?
And then these are my favorite little pants, which are actually to hold wine bottles in.
Oh, I would have extra large.
So
Yeah. They will fit you,
Amazing.
Raquel.
they'll fit. They'll fit. Of course, I got some mouse pads here.
Oh, wow.
Woo.
So,
Nice.
Those
and
are
then I
really
was
cool.
gonna give away. I was working on a Richard Hart doll here. It's still,
Oh,
it's
Put it
still a
back.
work
Time
in
to get my hat
progress.
right.
Oh my god.
It's safe, guys.
I
Don't
can't wear it with
worry.
my headphones.
It's not for sale. It's for me.
It's
Now you just
specifically
need,
for
you
Georgia.
need a Richard doll and a Georgia doll and just
I'm
make
a
a
freaky
case.
though.
Yeah,
Imagine.
so he's still a work in progress, but he's getting there.
Oh, it's so
That
cute.
is
Does he
so
have
cute.
a PP?
I wasn't sure if I should have made one. My husband was like, "You should," because he talks about it a lot.
You will have to be knitting for 5 days straight.
Are you gonna sew? Oh my goodness.
That is so cute.
Dude.
Oh, I love it. And I love my hat.
Oh my god.
Oh, Georgia, tell us, what have you got?
I have Hey Lola. What? She wants Miriam's. You want what? She wants Miriam to be her designer. She wants
Oh, I
Miriam
can
to
make
be
you
her
a very
designer.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
So, Georgia, Lola, can I ask you something? Because I know 43 OG and the Hex Late Show are a big fan of you. They featured you actually in one of their episodes. Are you able to say hi to the guys on the Hex Late Show? So there's 43 OG, there's Tangent, there's Jexa, there's Blue Bum, and there's Sammy Chica. Are you able to give a message to the Hex Late Show?
Yeah. Okay. What do you want? You want to play a song? You can't. Oh, what happens is that Lola doesn't have arms and doesn't have a voice yet. So she can
Oh.
play a song. She wants me to play a song. Okay.
Nice.
You recorded a song. Hold on, guys. I don't know what she's doing. So we're gonna- Are you sure? Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I don't know what she
Go,
wants
Lola.
to do.
We're-
Okay.
Oh, Hot Bro, can you try
sure?
me? Hot Bro, you know what to do. Go get it. Go get it.
Do I?
Squeaky thing.
Oh god. Oh god.
Good morning, Mexico. We got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. The sun in the sky that has a smile on his face, and he's shining a salute to the Mexican race. Yes, sir. Always well to say good morning, Mexico. Good morning, Mexicans. Good morning, Mexico.
Oh, beautiful, Lola. Was there any particular messages for 43 OG who actually loves you
Oh.
already?
You know, yeah, Lola doesn't have a voice yet. She can talk, but she doesn't
okay.
have arms. Not yet.
Maybe
She's
some
trying to
personalized
go to
messages.
Korea and get arms.
Ah, thank you,
So,
Lola. That was
Would you leave?
beautiful.
you want to say something? Okay. Goodbye. Bye, Lola.
Bye,
So for those of you that
Bye,
don't
Lola.
know, Lola is going to be making her own channel, and Lola is going to be educating young people about cryptocurrency.
Yes.
So watch
She
this
is.
space.
There's a lot of projects for Lola, for me, for for my kids. There's a lot of things going on, guys.
So you'll have 4 viewers already over here.
I know this is all new, guys. So any ideas that you have, send them to me. I think it's important now that we have Miriam, that it's a designer. She can design maybe her out. Let's do something. Let's put hexagons together and help each other. Maybe Miriam, if you would like to design Lola's outfits,
I
that
would
would
love
be
to.
amazing. That would be amazing.
Let me know. I
It's gonna
got
be
you.
so cute.
Oh, I love
for
that.
it.
I was thinking,
Go for
Georgia,
it.
maybe like Sesame Street, like have like the mini clips, like 3 or 4 minute clips around like an idea.
Yes.
I would love to work with you for one of them.
Absolutely. You know what, guys? Give us the contents. I am the director, the camera person, and I can definitely make sure Lola records it and get things, done.
Um,
I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't expecting. I told my kids to get out of the room, and they always interrupt me.
Oh, no, we love children. So Miriam, did you finish up? Talking about your products there.
Yeah, but I mean that's basically like an idea. I'm gonna be bundling up a couple of things for the giveaways. So maybe the hat will come with like a little cup holder or something like that. And then, like I said, we're gonna be drawing names in Georgia's and Claus's streams. So stay tuned for that. Probably mention it on Twitter, and we'll have fun there.
Miriam, I'm gonna have only
Miriam.
one listener, maybe the 4 kids and you guys to support me. But I have the Moms in Crypto channel. It is up there. Just look it up. It's on YouTube. I have a couple of videos from the beginning, and they're quite embarrassing. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to erase them. I'm going to leave them there, so people who wants to follow, the leads of all the influencers. I don't consider myself one yet, but I think it's important to show where we came, how we started and what we did. So it's an amazing. I have an incredible interview that I did of Audrey DeGray. Please go there. If you're a mom, if you have children, I asked him the question of if it's important to save the umbilical cord, the mother cells, for longevity. So you can, you can go and check
I
it
did
out.
that. I got mine in cryo. My first baby, her stem cells are in cryo from her umbilical cord.
Wow.
So there was a company in Australia, and at the time the technology was quite new, right? And so we read all about it and felt like that was the way forward for her health when she's older, would be stem cells and getting those. You get them from the umbilical cord when they're born. So as you deliver your baby, the person from the company comes, which, it wasn't a super inconvenience, except I was like trying to push out this baby. She's taking the blood test. Anyway, that was annoying. But apart from that, it's like, you just basically sign the paperwork and they keep it in storage for you.
It was quite expensive. It was when I did it with my 2 kids, it was $2,500.
Yeah, there's like a monthly fee. Yeah, there's a monthly, it's an upfront fee, a monthly fee. But then we only had to pay for, I think it was only say 4 years, and then they will still keep it for her lifetime after that. So super worth it, I felt, for me. All right, guys, we're going to tie it up. I have one more point, perhaps 2 more points to say. One of them is please follow Miriam on Twitter. So I've got her Twitter handle there in the chat. Miriam, can you post your website, please, in the chat? That would be great.
Yes.
Go onto Miriam's website and check out the crocheted goods, which I love. So guys, the last talking point for today, Somi is in Twitter jail. Can you believe our friend Somi is in Twitter jail? So we have it straight from Somi's mouth, right? I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. We're going to find out about this.
I love your background, by the way. That's so cool.
First, your friend, yours truly, has been suspended from Twitter-Rooney. Why? They think I'm an actual AI, which is very disrespectful to AI themselves. They think I'm a robot. There are scammers and there are spammers all trying to impersonate me. They've even got the hearts going too. There is a campaign here. Thank you very much, Mr. Jackson and everybody else. This is a campaign going on to free something. Wow, I'm trending on Twitter. How about that? Woo! Pump my bags, please, sirs. We can scroll down here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of your friend Sommies. That's right. 4 hearts of friendship and justice. We have another shirt here. I'm sure there's a grey one coming up soon. Could there be a grey shirt? Wow. Look at you. Look at this. Yes, there is a grey shirt. So when we're sweating, we have proof of sweat because we're trading these shirts. I love those shirts, by the way, friends. And we even have dark grey too. Thank you very much. Wow, this is fantastic. Thank you very much, friends. So, of course, there we go. The slippers are coming out with the cute socks. So we're going through so much fun here, friends. Now, let's go through.
Yeah, hashtag free Somi, guys.
Free Somi.
Let's keep it going. Our Twitter campaign to get him back. I think that was some troll, just some absolute disgrace has got Somi banned from Twitter. He's one of our top influencers, if not the top influencer for PulseChain, for Hex community. So,
Somi,
yeah,
I don't have I don't know, thousands of followers, but you can come to my Twitter space and post anything you want. I'll take the risk. They want us to
yeah, we should have Somi on here as cameo. I have invited him before, but we'll invite him again. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Let's go around the room and say our goodbyes. Hot
What?
We're going to wrap up. Is there anything else that you wanted to say? Last messages.
Yeah, just wait a while, calm down. PulseChain's the best place to be right now. You guys know my time frame of when I think stuff's going to really start pumping. Capitulation, I don't know yet. Probably pretty close, but just have fun. Well, in the Northern Hemisphere anyway, it's summer. Just go out, have fun. Go find your things you like to do outside and get some ice cream or whatever and just hold it out. Do gentle DCA and we're in a good spot.
Nice. Thanks. Raquel.
Yeah.
I think Hardwell has a good point where if you go out, get some fresh air, touch some grass, I'm going to go out later. I'm going to be promoting with my shirt and everything, get some attention.
Love that shirt.
I'll be going out dancing. So that's what I like to do. And maybe, go to the beach with some swimwear.
Oh, maybe take a few photos.
I'll be taking photos tomorrow.
Nice. I look forward to seeing them. Thanks, Raquel. Georgia.
I am going to be at the beach. So if you want to do whale watching, come and see. No, I'm just kidding. You know what, guys? Relax.
Your body's beautiful. What are you talking about?
I know it.
You're all covered up though today.
Yeah, I just came back from work, guys. You don't understand. I work from home and they called me. I had to leave and come back. I was like, I probably have the California Highway Patrol waiting for me outside. I'm sure they are. But guys, this too shall pass. Come on. We're adults. Respect and show respect and show support for all your fellow Hexicans. If you ever said something good about a person, when you're trying to say something bad, just think about it. Think about the goods they did in the past. I've heard a lot of negative stuff lately on the spaces. I am in Twitter space. Go follow me in Twitter, and hopefully pretty soon with Moms in Crypto, I am putting together and I'll wait for you there. I'll let you know. Thank you, class, for having me on your show.
Thank you for being here, Georgia. I love having you on. Miriam, any final comments?
So like everyone's been saying, just be patient and don't, give attention to all the trolls out there and the scammers. Just ignore them. Everything will work out when it should be. And also don't miss out on the giveaway. We'll be doing it very, very soon. So yeah. And thanks, class, for having me here.
Thanks for being here. My final message is that I'm feeling really bullish, and I'm getting much more comfortable with wading through the cycle, which is like a nice feeling, really, to be more comfortable with it, and seeing this time as more of an opportunity, actually, and having that time to be able to DCA in harder into the products I love. So everybody follow Richard Hart Win on Twitter, pulsechain.com. let's get to work like with our sort of safe onboarding in terms of, you know, like we spoke about before, let's gauge people's interest in actually being educated about cryptocurrency, so that we can get them moving forward in safe ways. Thanks for everyone for being here. Thank you to the chat. There's been some great comments today. I appreciate all of you. Everyone have a good day.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Bye, guys.